तं देवं कंसचाणूरमार्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. I welcome everyone who are in the temple and who are online in our journey to understand Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. It is 4th of December 2024. Very cold weather outside, the snow is going, so take care. We are on the Karma Yoga. We are almost at the tail end of the Karma Yoga. And in Karma Yoga till now we have understood, we have studied various things, and out of them we were on 35th sloka. This sloka has been going for the third consecutive session, and so because it's very very important, this sloka is guiding us what I am expected to do in my life. What am I supposed to do? What am I designed for? A human being, when he is born, or for that matter any animal or anybody who is born or created by God, is not without a purpose. There has to be a purpose. It is not by fluke. मेरा जन्म ऐसे ही नहीं हो गया. मेरे माँ बाप की गलती से मेरा जन्म नहीं हो गया. My birth is because of the two things. One is the desires, and other is the karma fall, balancing of the balance sheet. So I am born with a purpose. I am born with an expectation to do the actions which are going to balance my balance sheet, which are going to reduce my vasana, my cravings, so that I can be liberated. Liberated means जो स्वतंत्र हो गया. स्वतंत्र कैसे होगा? जो बंधा हुआ है वो स्वतंत्र नहीं है. जो बंधा हुआ है वो स्वतंत्र नहीं है. लिबरेशन का मतलब ही होता है स्वतंत्र हो जाना, किसी भी चीज के दबाव में नहीं रहना. That is what it means. So we were studying various things, and we were on 35th sloka, and what we studied and discussed till now, that humans will have always unequal resources. Garibi hatao, that is what we discussed. Humans will always have unequal resources due to the personal and natural reasons. 3 बच्चों को लाके you bring three people and you give them equal amount, $100, and you meet them after 3 months. What happened? The balance will be gone. They will not all be having the same growth or usage of the $100. So, and that is because we are all different. So humans will always have unequal resources. गरीब और श्रीमंत रहेंगे ही. There will be always rich and poor. There will be always skilled and unskilled. There will be always very intelligent and simple people. And because each person is different and each of us is born due to a cause and responsibility to act throughout the life, our choices are different. Our choices, skills, capacities, preferences, needs, they are all different. That is how the whole world is. That is how we are born. And actually, if we see, the more is the expectation, the more is the burden of work, the more varieties are there. If we look at humans, every human look different. If you look at some animals, they look different, but not that different. You cannot distinguish between one tiger and the other tiger just like that. You have to really look at the stripes and the zebra stripes and all that. Then only you can distinguish between a tiger and the other tiger. So when we go from a human species to animal species, they look more similar, and they have got less responsibilities. And if you go still further down, you see butterflies, insects, they all look very similar. You cannot distinguish between one earthworm and another earthworm. Why? Because their responsibilities are still less different. It is less different. The more and more we go, you go to the plant world. All the plants will look same. They will have the same, the leaves and the same way of, the distribution of branches. They will all same. All the maple trees will look exactly same. They will have the similar genetic signature visibly also. But humans know. Why? Because we are different and we are expected to do different things. Hence, one dress to fit all cannot work. One dress cannot fit all. Hence, the path to happiness and peace in the world. So, if somebody says that dunya mein sarvena sukhina santu sarve sutta, how can we reach there? When there is such a big variety and differences in people, the choices, including even geographical conditions, how can we make the whole world happy? Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. How can we do that? Can it be through a religion? It cannot. One dress cannot fit all. And also we discussed about how equal distribution of resources creates inequality. Last time we talked about it. When we suppose somebody decides, there is a story about it. Takeshir Baji, Takeshir Khaja, Andheri Nagari, Gandu Raja. There is a story. One king thought that everything should be equal. So almond will be say $1 a kilo, and the groundnut will be $1 a kilo. Everything is same $1 a kilo. But then what will happen? If salary of a manager and salary of another person, worker, supervisor is all same, what will happen? It will get an immediate feeling of inequality. मैं इतना काम करता हूँ और मुझे उसका हिसाब से रिटर्न नहीं मिलता, बिकॉज सबको एक ही रिटर्न नहीं चलेगा. Not practical. We cannot have a company where everybody's salary is same. It will immediately reflect as a feeling of inequality, injustice, and that will result into what? Loss of motivation and inactive society in turn. Even if I work, I get $2 an hour. Even if I don't work, I get $2 an hour. Why should I work? Why should I work? Loss of motivation, and that will result into an inactive society, chaos. So, equal distribution of resources cannot work. That is also we talked last time. Now, the goal should be equal happiness and not equal share, equal resource or equal opportunity. This should be the goal. Just like we took the example, dinner table ke upar baithe hain, where people are eating dinner. One person will eat 2 bowl of rice, another person will eat half bowl of rice. Unequal distribution of resources. But at the end of the dinner, if you ask everyone, are you full? Yes, I am full and I am happy. That itself is a clear example. In today's the complete economic development, they don't use the Shastras. This is a kind of sad story. We experience it every day on our dinner table, that unequal distribution of resources still gets happiness in the family. If we want to make the whole world as a family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, then equal distribution of resources theory will not work. It will not work. So what to do? So today we are going to learn how Sanatan Dharma is handling this variety in the world and still bringing the equal happiness, how it can be brought in. That is what is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is beyond any religion. It's beyond the definition of religion. So let me chant the sloka, and we will go further from there. 35th sloka of 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmastvanushthitat swadharme nidanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. And now we are going to understand how this variety is resolved, the problem is resolved. And we know how the human, when it is born in the Sanatan, in the old time, we were having a Gurukul Paddhati. Gurukul, the first step to make a human out of an animal is education. How the education society, how the mechanism of education should be designed. Each child was individually scrutinized and developed with their own individual capacity. Let us take an example. We know the story, so why not to take a reference of the story? We know the story. There was a Guru Dron. Guru Dron was running the school. Remember, it was not a Gurukul. We can talk about it, it's a bypass, but Guru Dron was running the school. It was a school which was the money was given by the king. So it was not a Gurukul. But still we are taking an example of a individual capacity. So Guru Dron was running the school, government funded school. Now he is seeing the capacity of each of his pupil. And he is seeing that Bhim is good with the mace, he is good with the gada. भीम गदा के लिए ज्यादा पावरफुल है, उसको गदा इज द प्राइमरी वेपन ही शुड लर्न. He can do other things, it's not that he cannot do, but the primary weapon is गदा. भीम को बोला तो गदा युद्ध सीख, ऐसा बोला. And Arjun is telling you take bow and arrow. Why did he say like that? Why did he say, Arjun, you should have bow and arrow, and Yudhishthir, you should have a spear, and that Bhim should have a mace? Why? Looking at the individual capacity of a person and the skills with which he or she is born, that should be the primary start of the education. In fact, the word educate itself means to bring out the hidden capacities of a person which is unknown at the time of the birth. Is to be taken out, is to be nurtured. It should be coming out just like a seed under the ground is coming out, like a big tree. We have to identify which type of seed it is. Unless we identify the seed, we cannot put what type of a fertilizer is required, what type of a soil is required. Why not for the humans in that case? Because we are all different seeds. We are variety. And that is why the very initial phase should be individual scrutinizing. But equality as a human being, but training as an individual, that is what was Gurukul. We know all Sandipani Gurukul. Sandipani Gurukul में क्या हुआ था? कृष्ण और सुदामा साथ में जाते थे लकड़ी लाने के लिए. We have all heard the story. Krishna and Sudama, they were friends, and they were studying together in Sandipani ashram, and they were both going in the jungle for bringing the wood. That is the story. We all know the story of Sudama. Now think about that. One is a king's son, another is a normal, a Brahmin son. Both are together. They both have to go for bringing the wood from the forest. They both will be eating same food in the Gurukul, isn't it? But the education of Krishna will be a political person, whereas education of Sudama will be to become a Brahmin. So equality as a human in the Gurukul, but education as a specialized, how they are supposed to be doing. We cannot imagine Krishna going from door to door and telling Bhagavati Bhikshandehi. We cannot imagine that. Krishna is not taught to do that. He is son of a king. He is supposed to rule. He is supposed to learn that. And that is where actually the reason of Karna and Eklavya is coming. But we will not go into that story now. Otherwise we will miss our main path of Karma Yoga. But that is how those stories are developed. Specialization for their future responsibility. Kings, businessmen, entrepreneurs, preachers, and various skills. Pot maker, cobbler, carpenter, all those skills. And that is the reason why we are seeing that in the ancient India, there were great sculptures. आज की तारीख में बता दो कौन ऐसे बड़े स्कल्पचर बनाए हैं? आर्किटेक्ट है, स्कल्पचर नहीं है. कोई स्कल्पचर दिखता नहीं, कोई ऐसे बड़े मंदिर दिखते नहीं कि जो बनाए गए. इतनी जबरदस्त उसके अंदर स्किल. Why? Because the skill is not there now. Skill is not there. Skill is lacked. छोड़ दिया, भूल गया उसको. And was there a possibility of change? Yes, there was. But it is not advisable. It may be an exception, but only for a few. Just a simple example. When we hear the Mahabharata story, when we hear the stories, when the Panditjis are telling us the stories in the Puranas, think about it. We all know that Guru Dron was able to, he was undefeatable. Unless he will put his weapons down, he was undefeatable. And that's how he was killed when he put his weapons down. Ashwatthama Hanti. We know that. Imagine a person of a capacity who can use the weaponry of that highest level. Pashutapastra, Brahmastra, Parjanyastra, Agnayastra, Vayavastra. So many weapons are also explained in Mahabharata. All this weaponry is known to a person, and still we know in Mahabharata that he was not having even one glass of milk to give to his son. Can we imagine that? Somebody is such a powerful person, somebody who knows such an amount of weaponry and the technology, is not having even one glass of milk in his home. Why? Because he is not supposed to fight for himself. He is a Brahmin. He can be a teacher, but he cannot become a king. He cannot become a king. The moment he decided by defeating Drupad that I will be half owner of the of the land which Drupad owns, the whole thing messed up. A Brahmin is not supposed to rule. A Brahmin is supposed to teach and lead. That is how the teaching was done in Gurukul. Chanakya never became a king. Chanakya started the whole dynasty. Gupta, Chandragupta. Whole Gupta dynasty was made, started. Nanda once was stopped. But Chanakya never took the throne. He went back again to the school and he started only teaching. He never became a king, although he was the most powerful person in the time in India, so-called Bharat, at that time. Yeah. Bhartruhari, another example, one of the biggest character, Bhartruhari, he was a king. He changed into a scientist and he did lots of research in various areas. Bhartruhari is one of the biggest scholar at that time. So he became a teacher, he became a scientist. So there are exceptions. Exceptions are allowed. It is not a rigid one. But for masses, in a common way, we should identify individual's capacity. Isn't it an extremely important factor as of today for the satisfaction as an individual in the society and the skills available in the society as a whole? We talk about vocational guidance, career planning. This is what it is. Swadharma nidhanam sreya. Even if whatever is your best way, even though you are not capable enough to perform it, but if you are in your line, you are happier. Bhartruhari, he made lots of research in various disciplines of science. He was a king. And then there are some common areas also identified. Yeah, some common areas identified, like saints. Let us take the example of all the saints. Sant Mirabai, she was a Kshatriya, king. She was a Kshatriya. Tukaram, he was a businessman, Vaishya. He was a saint. Eknath, he was Brahmin, but still he was a saint. Kabir, he was a cloth weaver, and he was a saint. So there are common areas also, and then there are special skills also. Skills were used just to earn the money. They were not used as a main function of the life. They were used for that. And that is how the whole Gurukul was established, to identify the skills of a person. Swadharma, to identify and recognize the Dharma. And that is why at the age of 6, which is a very, very innocent age, at the age of 6, the child was sent to Gurukul. That is another big one. We can talk about Gurukul for a minute. A child of 6 years is going to the Gurukul and he is not coming back until the age of 25 and meeting his family. Not coming at all. Even though anybody dies, brother died, uncle died, something happened, so many people got married, he will not come back from Gurukul. What will happen if such kind of a person is coming from the school? Will he be partial? Will he become a politician who will do partiality for his family? मेरे बाद मेरा बच्चा ही प्रधान बनना चाहिए, मेरे बाद मेरा बच्चा ही है जो वो नगर सेवक बनना चाहिए. Because he has been grown into a way which is more society focused than individual focused. That is how it is. It is human for the society or society for the human. That answer is given by the Gurukul thing. That is how the identification and handling of variety in the society. Now it is told it is preferable to die in own prescribed duty. Yeah. And then because of this sloka, which is also explaining, but people also followed it literally. So that is why the thousands of people died during the invasion of India by different races during different time. People came for looting, for ruling and for converting. Millions gave their life, but they never got converted. Why? Because they followed the word literally. Swadharme nidhanam sreya. Swadharme nidhanam sreya. If we are not doing something which we do not like for the entire life, our life will be wasted. It is better to be happy for a shorter period than to die internally every day living a fake life. हमें जो नहीं अच्छा लगता वो करना पड़ता है. I met many people in Canada. When I came to Canada, I was meeting so many people because लंबी रेस का घोड़ा हमेशा जरा धीरे चलना चाहिए. So I asked so many people who were here for long time. I was actually very happy and keen to meet the people who are older than 70-75 years old. They have spent 40-50 years in this country. And I was asking them, how do you find it? Do you think it is a good decision to come here? And so many different discussions. And many of them told, India में जो मजा है ना, वो यहाँ नहीं है. Many of them, almost most of them. वहाँ जो मजा है, India, anything for the back home, any country which they have left, their the birthplace and they have come here. वहाँ जो मजा है वो यहाँ नहीं है. Then I asked them the question, for how many years you are here? 40 years. 40 साल से हूँ, मगर वहाँ जो मजा है वो यहाँ नहीं है. Then you have spent 40 years not having a maja in your life, not having a fun in your life. It's not worth to spend time in the country, even though it is giving you a lot of money, lot of resources. बहुत सुख समृद्धि के साधन हैं, मगर आनंद नहीं है. कैसे रहेगा? क्योंकि तुम्हारा जो नेचर है उसे तुमने ऑपोजिट में लाइफ सिलेक्ट की है. And then these people, I'm not blaming them. There may be compulsion, there may be various reasons. I'm not blaming or I'm not denouncing them. But it is a sad story of somebody who is living for 50 years in a place which they never liked. And what happens that when a person is unhappy, overall we see when a person is unhappy and they are performing, their input to the society is non-productive, limited and low quality. Their input to the society in whatever way they are working will be limited. will be non-productive and of low quality. Yeah? And that is why we generally complain. पूछो किसी को this has become a norm. It has become a norm. When somebody is telling that the government sector, and people will say government, we know that. That is how governments work. Why there is a norm set in the mind that governments will work only this way? Bureaucracy. Why do we have that? Because people have not chosen that field by liking. They have chosen that field for guarantee of the job and salary. That is why they say that government का job ले लो, pension plan अच्छा है. But do I like that kind of a work? Is a question. Do I like that kind of a work? और पैसा मिलेगा. So चले जाओ उसको. Many people come to me for the guidance. अरे मेरे बच्चा को क्या पढ़ाना चाहिए? What line is better? What line is better? The clear meaning of the word better means पैसा कहाँ ज़्यादा मिलेगा? पैसा कहाँ ज़्यादा मिलेगा? सुख कहाँ ज़्यादा मिलेगा? आनंद कहाँ ज़्यादा मिलेगा? संतोष कहाँ ज़्यादा मिलेगा? वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. That is not important. What is important is पैसा कहाँ ज़्यादा मिलेगा? Return on investment. When such people are working in the society, the poor quality work will be always there. That is common sense. And that is why what will happen that even after spending millions of dollars on employee programs, employee training, employee engagement programs, we all know all the the management gimmicks. Still it doesn't happen. I remember my own experience in a company. I will not name the company. I left the company because of various reasons. So while I was leaving the company, I got my manager and I stood in front of a board which was written the principles of the company. T for team, A for accountability, and all those like those big words. I told him, you are telling me that this company is working like this, but the experience is different. And he boldly said, this is only to write on the board. It is not going to happen. Clearly. So all these employment, the employee training programs and empowerment programs, they will all not work if the person is not the right person in right place. It will not work. So all that money will be wasted too. Issue like corruption. When a greedy person is having a position in politics, what will happen? Corruption. We have got a saying in Hindi, Raja Vyapari, Praja Bhikhari. When the king is a trader, the peasants are the beggars. Raja Vyapari, to Praja Bhikhari. Praja Bhikhari. A king should be what? We will reach it. It's a long way. 18th chapter, slokas 42 to 46, we should read. Sometimes I think that it should have been told earlier for the student, not by the Sri Krishna, but for the student of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. What a king should be. The quality of a king. What is written there? Yuddha Chapalyam. But Ishwar Bhava. Ishwar Bhava. What is Ishwar Bhava? Like a father. A father will never think to grab and take money from the kids, from their children. Ishwar Bhava. Now we are seeing lots of corruption in politics. Why? Because they don't have the Ishwar Bhava. That's the reason. So wrong person in a position will not only impact his or her own satisfaction in the life, but it is also going to impact greatly to the society and overall happiness of the society. The problem of corruption is that a greedy person. That is why a king is called the father of the country. ऐसे ही राष्ट्रपिता नहीं हो जाते. राष्ट्रपिता नाम देने के लिए पिता means what? Anyway, and then we also know that like-minded people can perform great even with the least resources. Because you enjoy the company of the people, you like the work. So even for the productivity part, even for thinking that, what is the return on investment and all, still we should know who is the right person for that job. And to know that, we should know Swadharma. Swadharma nidhanam sreha, Swadharma. Swadharma has to be known. This is what Swadharma means here. It is not a religion, it is not the puja and bhakti and all that. It is Swadharma means the reason why I am born, my personal duties and how I am supposed to be doing that work. That is what Swadharma is. I think we will stop on this sloka now. It can still go more deeper, but we have to continue. There is a path. You can't. It's like that. Sometimes I feel that when I am traveling in a train, in Canada it is less for the example of a train, but yeah, if I am traveling in a train and then the destination is from station A to B, and then there is one station which comes in between. Suppose destination is A to Z, so travel. So the station C comes in between, and the announcement is there. The train will stop here for 20 minutes. So I get down. I see a nice restaurant. I take some food there. Wow, very tasty food. Very great people. Very polite people. Excellent weather. Everything is good. Can I decide that I can stop there? No, I will have to continue my path. Even though I like it very much, and even though I know that the Z may not be as good as the station C, I have to continue. So that is how, sometimes I feel that a sloka, really how much justice we can give to this sloka is challenging. But we have to move ahead. So now the question is that, suppose even though people know, ye mera kaam hai, this is my duty, this is my swadharma, still, people do not do that. Why? How? The prescribed duty, even after knowing our prescribed duty, we do not act on right things. And we act on something which is incorrect. Why? Now, there is a sloka in Mahabharata also. Duryodhana says the same thing. Janami dharmam nachme pravrutti, janami adharmam nachme nivrutti. I know what is dharma, I know what is righteous thing, I know what is right and correct thing to do. Janami dharma, nachame pravrutti, I cannot do, मेरे से होता ही नहीं है. मुझे मालूम है सही क्या है, मगर मैं कर नहीं सकता. And janami adharmam nachame nivrutti, और मुझे पता है क्या बुरा है, मगर मैं उसे छोड़ नहीं सकता. When somebody says, yeah, you know what, I talk to my friends, I'm very, when somebody is my friend, I should tell them the truth. So I ask them, why are you smoking this much cigarettes? Why do you drink so much? Not good for your health, not good for family, not good for economics of your family budgeting. And they say, छूटता नहीं है, मेरे से छूटता नहीं है. And even other things also, diabetes, doctor has told, you have got acute diabetes, no sugar, good exercise, go to the gym. होता नहीं है. Janami dharmam nachme pravrutti. So I think I sometimes tell them that you are talking about the sloka which is told by Duryodhana in Mahabharata. I tell them. Anyway, so the question is arising in the mind of Arjuna also. Why then other people? Why even after knowing the people are doing the wrong things? So that is the sloka number 36. I'll chant the sloka and we'll go further. So here Arjuna is telling. Arjuna is asking. Arjuna uvacha atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichhannapi vasrena baladiva niyojitaha. Atha kenam prayuktoyam. Atha kenam. Then why? Kena means why? What? Arjuna says, then why? Why is a person impelled to commit sinful acts? Papam charati purushaha. Even unwillingly. Anichhannapi, unwillingly. As if by force, baladiva. Baladiva niyojita. Niyojita, engaged. Why do people get engaged into papam charati, papam, into a sinful act? even though anichchapi, even though they are not willing, they are doing. Why do they do that? Now this question has also got so many points in it. See, very simple part is papam charati purusha. Arjuna has clearly understood what is the definition of papa. Beating somebody, killing animals, doing corruption. What is the papa? Papa means we are not doing our prescribed duty. God has told swadharma means doing prescribed duty. That is dharma. Not following the dharma is papam. That means if we are not following swadharma, it is papam. Basically. Anyway, so first point to remember here is, one more point is, we can ask a question. See, this is one of the reasons why understanding of Sanatan Dharma in general in the society is not seen today. Why? Because we don't ask the question. पूछ सकते हैं. कुछ भी चीज समझ में नहीं आई, पूछ सकते हैं. किसी को भी पूछ सकते हैं, कहीं भी पूछ सकते हैं. We can ask anyone, anybody, without a shame or fear. पूछ सकते हैं. Arjuna is asking, and there is no bounding of time and place. We are standing in the middle of the battlefield and you are talking about all this karma yoga and all. You know what? Come on guys, let us start fighting. It's the middle of the battlefield. No. I have a doubt, I have a question and I can ask. Especially in case of dharma, there should be lots of questions being asked. Otherwise, how the clarity will come? Clarity will not come. So it's very important to ask. There's one, how many times we ask a question to a person who is explaining us about life? How many times we ask them? Something to be thought about. And another word here is aniccha, unwillingly. So here the unwillingly and the papam, we have to understand there is a small there is a small section which is to be understood very well in today's context. Otherwise, we will not understand the aniccha word. Here, Arjuna is telling aniccha, unwillingly a person is doing the papam charati, is doing the sinful act or not doing his duty, prescribed duty. Aniccha, unwillingly. So here the unwillingly is there are so many things in it. Number one is the innocence. So if a person is innocent and not having the knowledge, they can do something willingly, even though it is not a correct duty. मालूम ही नहीं है कि ये सही है या गलत है, तो मुझे जो कहा गया वो मैं करूंगा. I will do the thing which I am told, or whatever comes to my mind. That is one part. Another part is the people whose conscience is not miseducated through the thoughts of patriotism or religion. Let us take a story. Christopher Columbus was told by the Queen of Spain, you go and you go into unknown lands. In the name of the Queen of Spain, I hereby authorize you that whatever land you are going to capture, of course by fighting and killing the people in that land, will be the ownership of Spain. वो स्पेन की जमीन हो जाएगी. इसके लिए जब तू उसके साथ में लड़ेगा तो तू सैनिक होगा, तू लुटेरा नहीं होगा. That is what it means. You will not be a killer. You will not be looting them. You are going as an ambassador or the general from the country of Spain through the order from the Queen of Spain. What happened? Massacre. We know that in North American history, so many people did so many wrong things. Just read the history. the amount of atrocity is done to the original, the people of this land. Amount of atrocity. Why? In the name of the queen and the country. That person's conscience will never be telling them that, because here anichanapi is very important. They will never have that anicha, even though they are doing wrong things. Why? Because they have been told, miseducated. उसको बोल दिया गया तुम लड़ो जाओ और जो जमीन तुम्हें मिलेगी ले लो. सोचे, a person with really a soft heart will cry the tears of blood after understanding and reading those historical events. What a sad, sad story in the human race. How many people suffered because of that? Why? Because it's a miseducated mind. And same for the religious gods. Religious gods, somebody, even today also, somebody is going as a self-blasting person. They think that they are doing a holy duty. They think that they are doing the right work. Otherwise nobody will blast them. So in the name of patriotism, in the name of religion or any other thought for that matter, a person who is miseducated, for that person, the unwilling word is not applicable. Why? Because they are miseducated. So they are willingly doing a sinful work. That is what I mean. So this sloka is applicable not to those people who are willingly doing a wrong thing because they are miseducated. This sloka is applicable to those whose conscience is already alive and it is telling from inside to them that don't do this, don't do this. This sloka is applicable to them. That is why I told that there is some section here, which we have to remember. Christopher Columbus. Religious books which teach that the others are infidel and sinful if they are not belonging to this religion. He deserves to die. Killing the person in the so-called God's name and God's work. These people think that doing specific action is correct way. So that section of people, which is very large, we know even today, is not being considered in this sloka. उसको अनिच्छा है नहीं, वो इच्छा से ही करते हैं गलत काम. We already know there are 4 major wars going on as of today. As of today, 4 major wars in the world. Why? For the resources. Why the major wars are going on? What's the purpose? What's the reason? Why the other person is different? Why the other is other and not my brother? Because of these reasons. A person who is thinking abided by a rule or a false duty or a false oath, those people let us take an example of a story. Draupadi Vastraharan. When Draupadi Vastraharan was happening, Draupadi ke चीर, Draupadi को राज सभा में लेके आए और द्रौपदी वस्त्रहरण का प्रसंग महाभारत का सबसे खराब प्रसंग, वेरी वेरी बैड एपिसोड. Capable people, Bhishma Pitama, Drona, Krupacharya, all those people, even Pandavas, they were not taking any action to stop that. How? Everybody thought that it is a dharma. Bhishma thinks that nahi, I am connected to the Sinhasan, I am connected to the throne. Whoever is at the throne, unless they order me, unless they say, I will not stop them. That is what Bhishma Pitama thought. Guru Drona thought that way. I am only a preacher. I am a teacher. I am not supposed to stop and intervene in the things which are happening in the political side. So he kept silent. Even Arjun and other people also kept silent. Why? Oh, I am already sold. Now I am a slave. मैं गुलाम हो गया हूँ क्योंकि मुझे मेरे भाई ने बेच दिया है. मेरी पत्नी के भी जब इस अवस्था का हरण हो रहा है, मैं खड़ा नहीं हो सकता। क्यों? क्योंकि मैं गुलाम हूं। ऐसे टाइम पे तो भगवान ही बचाए। इतना बुरा समय आए, इतनी गलत दिमाग में बैठ जाए, लोगों के अलग अलग लोगों के दिमाग में अलग अलग भूसा भर जाए, तो भगवान ही बचाए। इसलिए भगवान ने चीर पूरे उनके। क्या बोल सकते हैं? क्या बोल सकते? What a mislead, what a misunderstanding and incorrect understanding of definition of dharma. Then Kurukshetra will happen when everybody is God. That is why धर्म में ग्लानि होगी तो मैं अवतार लूंगा. God told that. यदा यदा ही धर्म से ग्लानिर्भवति भारत, धर्म से ग्लानि, ग्लानि हो जाती है तो मैं आऊंगा. That is what it means. Anyway, so Arjun asked this question, and we are going to go further on this question and how God is answering this question. Very interesting. But it's already 6:45. We have to talk within the limit of the time. So we are going to come back again on Wednesday, next Wednesday, 11th of December, 6 to 6:45 p.m. And we will study further on this sloka 36 onwards on Karma Yoga. Till then, I wish everyone a good time. Be careful, drive safe, slippery roads, accident prone, and also the weather is very bad. Take care of the health. And we will meet again 6 to 6:45 at the Durga temple over here on 11th of December, Wednesday. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansachanauramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat